Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday, November the 24th. It's Ceree and Ron. Ron, how are you?
Great. How you doing, Ceree? Good to see you.
Good to see you too. We are Lighthouse Tapestry, and we are your co-hosts for today's Daily Thread. And we're excited to pull some runes for you and some oracle cards. And we thought it would be good for Ron to give you a little bit more information about the runes because you've evidently gotten some inquiries from people that are curious.
That's true. A few of the viewers have sent me email and want to know is there something more to the runes than what we currently do? You know, on our Wednesday night views, we essentially do a one rune pool, which is called an Odin rune. And it just gives an overview to the collective or to the individual you're pulling for. And then in our sessions that we do, like today, we do a 3 rune pool, and that gives you an overview, a challenge, and then what sort of action to take. Well, if I'm doing a personal reading, a person wants more in depth than just that, we also have something called a 5 rune pool. And what it does is it adds to the overview, challenge, and action. It wants to know sacrifice and then your new situation. And again, it can get involved, you know, as you do the conversation. Another rune pool is called the Runic Cross, and that talks about your past and your present and your future, the foundation or basis of whatever is your issue that you want to discuss, and also the challenge and the new situation that you're going to be experiencing. And then the final one that I have is called the 3 lifetimes spread. And so it actually talks about your birth and your future life, your past incarnation, and your future incarnation. So you can see there's a lot more to runes than just pulling an overview.
That's great. Well, and I would give a plug for Ron. He was my teacher to teach me how to read runes some time ago. So we pull on a regular basis for one another. But if you are interested, if you go to our website, it's www.lighthousetapestry.com, and you can see all of our great practitioners. We've got a lot of diversity. We all read tarot or runes or oracle cards, but in addition, we have everything from astrology to spiritual coaching, and Ron is a spiritual enlightenment coach on the channel. And we all have different modalities from mediumship to Akashic records to astrology and channeling. So we'd encourage you to check us out and support the channel if you'd like to get a private reading. We also have courses that we have currently, but we will also be doing 2 new courses in January, one on the basics of tarot that Wendy's going to teach, and then myself and 2 other Akashic teachers are going to do an Akashic Records Mastery course. So we hope you'll join us.
Yeah, okay. I'm looking forward to that one.
Oh, yeah, which is great. So Dawn started off yesterday with the astrology for the week. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that, it really gives you a great overview of the week. And I'm just going to summarize in 2 comments. And she's been saying this for several weeks. Venus is breaking lots of dishes right now, and there are shocks and awe and surprises. And so if you are traveling anywhere around the world, it is a holiday week this week in the United States. But if you are traveling and with family or friends, they said this week best to zip it and listen and just smile and not enter into the fray of drama and just kind of be the observer. So with that, we're going to get started with our 3 rune pool for today. And we have a couple oracle cards at the very end. All right.
Okay. Well, I pulled for the overview today, I pulled the rune, it's Breakthrough. Okay. Also called Dagaz, D-A-G-A-Z. And it's transformation. And here is the final rune belonging to the cycle of initiation. Drawing this rune often signals a major shift or breakthrough in the process of self-change, a complete transformation in attitude, a 180-degree turn. For some, the transition is so radical that they are no longer able to live the ordinary life in the ordinary way. Because the timing is right, the outcome is assured, although not from the present vantage point predictable. In each life, there comes at least one moment which, if recognized and seized, transforms the course of that life forever. Rely, therefore, on radical trust, even though the moment may call for you to leap empty-handed into the void. Spiritual warriors do that all the time. With this rune, your warrior nature reveals itself. If this rune is followed by the blank rune, then the magnitude of the transformation might be so great as to portend a death. Well, I didn't pull another rune. So a major period of achievement and prosperity is often introduced by this rune. The darkness is behind you, daylight has come. Nevertheless, you're reminded not to collapse yourself into thoughts for the future or behave recklessly in your new situation. Considerable hard work can be involved in a time of transformation. Undertake and do it joyfully. I think that's a wonderful rune, Ceree.
Oh, that's great. Well, and I think it speaks to what we've been talking about, that many of our viewers, including ourselves, we're going through an incredible transformation, and it's got a lot of ups and downs with it, but we are really expanding our consciousness, and we are kind of going to the next level of the spiritual warrior journey. And it has implications, both really positive, but also some challenges. So I pulled the rune for the challenge. And just so our viewers know, we pull right before we go on camera, but we don't tell each other what we pulled. So Ron doesn't really know what I pulled, and I didn't know what he pulled. And so I pulled this rune. So this is the challenge for the collective. And this is the warrior. And it's, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's for TIW. Is it two? The sky god. The name is the sky god. I'll leave it at that, but it's reversed. And so in runes, you can pull them up, right side up, or they can be reversed. And so they might have slightly different meanings. Now, in the reverse position, the challenge for us as we're going through this spiritual expansion and journey, it says the danger is that hasty or ill-timed action, life force can leak out or could spill away. If a relationship is short-lived, do not grieve. Know that it has fulfilled its span or its purpose. Matters of trust and confidence are at issue here, and with them, the authenticity of your way of being in the world. So headline is, as we are expanding and moving into this new earth energy, we are leaving behind some of the closest relationships that we've had. And these are spouses, family members, friends, people that you've been along the journey with for many, many years. And this is to be expected. So in order to get to the new version of you that you've always searched for, part of this is surrender and letting go. And basically what this is saying, you must trust the universe, and you must trust in your own authenticity of who you are. It says also, it's an opportunity to examine your motives about this relationship. Is it a conquest within that you were concerned, or is it related to a conquest with another person? Like, why did you hang on to that relationship if you knew that it wasn't destined, or you weren't ready to let it go? And sometimes they end in surprise, so you might not have known. But it says you will find the answers within yourself, not in outside advice. When you consult the runes, you are consulting the self, an action appropriate to the spiritual warrior. So it's basically saying, go in deep, understand, why were you in this relationship? It served its purpose. And the sign of progress is the fact that it has served its purpose, and you don't need to hang on to that. Now, does it say it's easy to do? And I would tell you, no, it's not easy, because we're humans and we want to love and be loved. So sometimes it's very difficult. So we do understand that comes with a lot of thought around, moving away or moving on from someone. And you can let them go with love and grace. It doesn't have to be atomic blow up or thermonuclear. It can be a very gentle, I love you, and I leave you, and I thank you for this part of the journey.
And hit the door. Yep.
Well, you said that, not me.
I know. I'm just kidding. The thing is, that's a wonderful rune because it's been so consistent. I've heard that over and over, and I've talked to people who are going through relationships, and breakups.
But what we're saying is we hear you, and we're going through it with our own lives, and it's not easy.
That's true. So I'll go to the action. All right. And then I pulled signals, and signals, I pulled it. I'm sorry, that's the wrong rune. This is the right rune. That was
And I
the
pulled
last
that one
one.
a week ago. Yeah.
I know. Well, yes, again, it's been coming consistent, and this is in an upside down mode. It's called signals. So the rune itself is a messenger rune, and the keynote here is receiving messages and signals and gifts. Even a timely warning may be seen as a gift. Now, again, this was pulled in the reverse position, and in reverse it says you may be concerned over what appears to be failed communication, lack of clarity or awareness, either in your past history or in your present situation. You may feel inhibited from accepting what is offered. A sense of futility or wasted motion may overwhelm you. Remember, however, that what is happening is timely to your process. If the well is clogged, this is the moment for cleaning out the old. Reversed, this rune is saying, consider the uses of adversity. So again, when you're hitting the blocks or when things are not going your way, recognize it as growth, recognize pain as growth. I know it's not something we like to go through, but it is a very powerful evolutionary catalyst. Okay.
Well, thank you for that. And to end the reading, I asked for a couple of oracle messages, and I love to ask which archangel is guiding us for the week. And I got the Archangel Aurora, who's actually the twin flame of Archangel Uriel. And when we're around Uriel, we usually get like sudden burst of epiphanies and things that kind of come out of nowhere, knowing clarity. And Aurora is around welcoming in new beginnings. And it says, choosing this card suggests that something new is about to awaken within you. A light might switch on in your mind regarding some aspect of your life or the future. You might suddenly see new possibilities or wake up to the potential of a new person or project. And it's time for the old to drop away and to be replaced in a moment by light and happiness. And it says you may be considering a change in work, a relationship, or situation. And this is a card of surrender. In order to welcome in the new, you got to be willing and able to let go of the old. So very consistent with what the rune said. So Archangel Aurora is here to guide us in surrender, but welcoming in that new. And the last message, I decided to use the Kuan Yin deck because I thought this week we need some compassion. And so I got the Lotus Throne. And I love Kuan Yin and her energy. In fact, I was in a meditation this morning and her energy was really powerful. She has similar energy to Mother Mary. So usually I feel both of them. And I see or feel her vibration as the color kind of pinkish orange. And Mother Mary, I see blue. So I know they're in the house when I am around those colors. Okay, so the Lotus Throne, it says, the same lotus wisdom that enlightens beloved Kuan Yin in all the spiritual masters, it's the same lotus light within your own heart, beloved. It can take great courage to trust your own inner light, to ascend to the throne of your own inner spiritual authority, especially if the light of others around you seems more powerful than your own. You are being asked to trust this inner guidance above all others now. Have faith in your own heart. Know that you are divine. I mean, what a beautiful message. And it says when you're pulling this card, Kuan Yin is asking you to be your own inner teacher and show the goddess light of Kuan Yin in your own heart. And it speaks to you and it urges you to trust your own divine nature. And you're asked to ascend to the lotus throne of your own divine soul. Trust your courage, beloved. Your journey is taking you into spiritual maturity, and you will need to acknowledge that you have spiritual authority within your own heart. Isn't that wonderful?
That is good. Very good.
And with that, we will leave you for Monday's message. Stay safe if you're traveling this week, and remember, best to zip and smile and not say anything and be the observer. But again, please like, subscribe, and share to support the channel. Check out the website at lighthousetapestry.com. And again, stay safe, warm. Take care.
Okay. Take care, Ceree.